And we'll be starting in another minute or two, so if you need props, make sure you have your props handy. So before we get started, maybe just come to the middle of the mat if you're already signed on. And just sit up nice and tall and just begin to make the preparations that you need to make in order to bring yourself into the moment, getting ready for your practice. So starting to make that connection to your breath, closing your eyes, making sure that the spine remains nice and straight and the shoulders are down away from the ears. And let yourself start to connect to your Ujjayi breath. So you want to listen to the way your breath is traveling in and out through the back of your throat. And it should sound like the ocean wave. And just allow that breath to be smooth and even, trying not to force it, just letting that breath flow through the back of your throat and making sure that your mouth remains closed when you breathe in and out. So always breathing through the nose. And keeping the spine nice and straight. Let the ears stay stacked over the shoulders. Making sure that you feel comfortable in this cross-legged position. And then if your eyes are closed, let your eyes open. Let's bring our hands into a prayer position right into the center of the heart. Inhale, lift the arms out to the side and all the way up. And exhale, open the arms out to the side and down. Turn the palms up. Inhale, lift. And open the palms as you exhale the arms lower down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lift the palms up. Stretching up through the fingertips. Turn the palms out and down. Exhale. And last time, turning the palms up. Inhale. And let's bring the hands to prayer as we take it on the exhale back to the center of the heart. Holding here. Gaze is forward. And let's slowly take the chin down to the chest as we feel a stretch coming into the back of the neck. Let your eyes just close for a moment and feel your head heavy, chin resting onto the chest. And then slowly let your eyes open and just bring your hands down onto your knees. Very slowly inhale, roll your head over to the left side. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your head down as the chin comes to the chest. And inhale, roll the head to the right side. Exhale, bringing the head down, chin to chest. So stretching out the neck, continue with this movement from side to side and make it nice and slow so that you're not rushing, you're not going through it too quickly. You're just feeling the openness coming into the sides of your neck. And finish up on the right side and then bring your chin back down to the chest. Continue to keep the spine straight and then bring your head back up to center. Inhale, let's take the arms all the way up, extending up through the fingertips. Arms come close to your ears. Hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, really draw the navel into the back of the spine so that you really feel more like you're tucking your tailbone under. Then lower your hands down and try not to round the back. Just walk as far forward as you can go, keeping that long extension in your spine, keeping the shoulders pulled down away from the ears. And then from here, just walk your hands over to the right side. So you're just taking a little bit of a twist, taking that rotation just to where you feel comfortable. The back remains nice and long. And then coming center, walking the hands all the way over to the left side. And staying here, dropping your chest down towards that left leg, but trying not to round through the upper back. And then come back through center, And from here, let's take it right into a tabletop. So if you're able to just roll right onto your hands and knees, allow yourself to do that. Otherwise, find your tabletop however you can. And from here, let's extend the right leg all the way back. As you do, draw the right hip down towards the mat. And let's point the toes and flex, point, and flex, point, and flex. And make a circle with your foot going one direction. And then take it around, go the other direction. Lower that knee down onto the mat. Left leg extends, and the toes point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, and making your circle one way. And taking it the opposite direction. Lower the knee back down. From here, take an inhale as you raise the right leg all the way up. Lift your head. Exhale, round the back and draw your knee in towards your nose. And take that leg back and up again, looking up. Exhale and pull in. And lift it all the way up. And then bring it in. And lower the knee back down under the hip. Left leg extends back. Lifting up, looking up, and bring the knee in towards the nose. And lift the leg, lift the head, and pull in. And lift. And pull it in. And lower the knee back down underneath your hip. Just take your hands just a little bit further forward. Taking it right into our down dog. So pull your shoulders back, draw your navel into the back of the spine. Curl your toes, take your tailbone back. And as you press back with your hands, let your knees lift and draw the crown of your head to the floor. Keep pressing your heels down to the mat, allowing the shoulders to open up away from the ears. And keep pressing through your heels. As you push more with your heels down to the floor, you'll feel a deep stretch coming into your calves. And now as you're pressing your heels, see if you can slightly lift your toes, maybe finding a little deeper stretch in the calves and maybe even feeling a stretch in through the shins. So let's come back down onto the knees and keep your hands right where they are. We're going to take the right leg back again. And this time we're going to extend the knee in towards the nose and hold it here. And now curl the toes on your left foot. Extend the right leg back. And then let's press up into a three-legged dog from here. Raise that right leg all the way up and bend your right leg at the knee, trying to touch your right heel towards your left buttock. Make sure both shoulders are staying square. Try to get both hips to face towards the floor. Keep raising that knee up nice and high. And then stretch that right leg with a flexed foot, pushing through the heel. And then square, turning that hip down towards the floor. Keep the right leg extended back. And from here, let's walk slowly towards the left foot. And as you do this, get that left heel to press to the mat. Keep turning the right hip down and dropping the crown of your head towards the floor. Just walk in as far as you can go without bending the left leg. So as soon as your left leg starts to bend, don't go any further. Make sure you maintain that straight leg. If you're flexible enough, you may be able to bring your hands around the left foot, but your right hip is facing down. So breathe here, feel that stretch into the left hamstring, and then look forward. Walk your hands back to your three-legged dog. So make sure the hands are further away from, they're going to be away from your shoulders. Raise that right leg up a little higher. Lower that right foot back down onto the mat. And let's lower back down onto the knees. Flatten the toes. And we're going to take the left knee and pull that left knee in towards the chest. And then you're going to extend that leg back as you curl the toes on your right foot, pressing back into a three-legged dog. Lift that left leg up nice and high as you press that right heel to the floor. Bend your left leg at the knee and try to touch that right buttock with your left heel. Square the shoulders to face the mat and keep letting that left hip open. Straighten the leg as you continue to flex that left foot. And then we're going to turn that left hip so that it faces down towards the floor. So the leg is going to start to lower a little bit, but you're keeping it straight and the foot flexed. Press through your right heel and then start to walk towards the right foot, pressing the right heel down. So you want to flatten the right foot. Just walk in as far as you can go, keeping the leg straight and keeping the toes on your left foot facing down and the left leg straight with the left hip facing down. And just let your head hang, feeling that stretch coming into that right hamstring. And then looking forward, walk it all the way forward. Once again, back to your three-legged dog, and lower the left foot down onto the mat, coming onto your knees. So let's take it right into a rest for child's pose. Big toes touch. Draw your tailbone down towards your heels and sweep your arms alongside your legs. So your palms are turned up next to your feet, your shoulders are relaxed. And let your lower back really open up. So any tension that you might feel in your back, just let it open. Send that breath into any tension, allowing it to soften. Watch how your breath flows into your body. So really be conscious of experiencing the flow of your breath. Continuing to make it flow in smooth and even. And let's take the arms, extend them further forward once again. So reaching your fingertips towards the front of your mat, spread your fingers wide. Come back onto your knees and bring the knees back under your hips. We're going to curl the toes and lift up into our down dog. So your tailbone goes back. Your hands are pushing back so that you can try to let the knees lift up together. Let's raise the right leg all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to take that right foot and lunge it in between the hands. So you want to wiggle it in, guide it in with your right hand however you need to, keeping your right knee over the ankle, pressing back with that left heel. I want to feel a stretch coming into that left calf muscle, and square, turning that left hip down to the floor. And let's take the left knee down onto the mat and flatten the toes on your left foot. And let's bring both arms all the way back. Lift your chest off your thigh. Lift the arms all the way up. Inhale here, stretching up as high as you can. And as you exhale, fold forward and sweep your arms back. As your arms come forward alongside your ears, inhale and lift the chest off your thigh. Exhale, fold forward, sweep the arms all the way back. And coming forward, inhale, lift up. And exhale, both hands come down on either side of your right foot. Curl your back toes, pushing back through the heel. Feel the stretch in that left calf muscle. And now right from here, we're going to just take the right hand into the big toe side of the foot and walk your right foot kind of out to the side. Bring both hands right under your shoulders and allow that left knee to come down. So taking lizard pose here, really to open up into the inner thighs, the right hip, and allowing that left leg to stay extended, toes go flat, bend both elbows together as you lower your chest down. So you're going to feel that right hip really getting a nice stretch here. If you're able to come down to the forearms, you can come down onto your forearms. Try to make sure that you're not rolling further down with one shoulder. So both shoulders stay even, and just take it down as far as you can and breathe. Keep trying to pull your right knee in towards the chest. If you can't, keep your hands on the floor. If you find that that's even too much, you can bring your hands on your block. So if you have very, very tight hips, you might not even be able to maintain this stretch with your hands on the floor. So you can always use the block just to bring the floor up to you to give you that stretch. And now take the right hand and bring it to the pinky toe side of your foot. Wiggle that right foot back. And then both hands are planted on the floor. Curl your left toes. Send the right leg all the way back and up. Stretch it up. And lower the right foot down. And just go ahead and bicycle it out, pedaling the heels, maybe. Just kind of moving your hips from side to side. So if you really feel tightness there in the hip from that stretch, just do whatever movement you feel necessary. Let's take the left leg, send it all the way up. I'm going to lunge that left foot in between the hands. So you may not be able to get it there right away. So wherever it lands, grab it, the ankle with your left hand, and place the foot right in between both palms. Press back through that right heel. Allow that right knee to lower. And you're making sure that your left knee is staying over the ankle. Toes are flat on your right foot. You want to take your arms, extend them all the way back. Peel your chest off your thigh. Raise your arms all the way up alongside your ears. Inhale.
And exhale, fold forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, arms come alongside your ears, peel the chest off the thigh. Exhale, fold forward. So toes are facing towards the front of your mat. Both arms alongside the ears, peel yourself up. Exhale, fold. And coming back up, arms alongside the ears, inhale. And exhale, this time both hands on either side of your left foot. You're going to take that left hand and bring it onto the left side of your foot. So you're going to right side of your left foot. So right to the big toe and wiggle that left foot out till it comes to the edge of your mat. Making sure both palms are directly under your shoulders. Make sure that right leg is sent back as far as you can go and feel that stretch. So just staying here may be enough stretch for you. This could be too intense, so maybe you need to lift the floor up a little bit so you can lift it up a little. And you want to really feel that you're trying to press your pelvis down, really directing that right hip down to the floor and pulling your left knee in towards your left tricep. If you can come onto the forearms, making sure that you're not dropping one shoulder lower than the other. So both shoulders stay square. You're going to go, when you come down to the forearms, you'll feel more of an intense stretch in that left inner thigh. Just breathe where you are. And then slowly coming back up. Wiggle the left foot back in close to the middle of both hands. Curl your back toes, and let's take the knee off the mat, lift the left leg back, take it up, three-legged dog, lift it up, and then lower the left foot down. And doing whatever motions feel natural to do, whatever movement, or just come to stillness right away. And if you are moving around, you don't want to continue to move around all the time. So just find that you get a little bit of that stretch so that you can hold in your down dog for a period of time without really moving. And continue to drop the crown of your head towards the mat. And now let's take our right leg. We're going to raise it all the way up and lunge that right foot back in between the hands. So get it right in between your hands. Then come into a high lunge. So you want to keep your left hip facing down. You want to stay on the ball of your left foot, bringing your chest off your right thigh, coming into this high lunge. First, get your shoulders to stay square over your hips. So you don't want to be leaning forward. You want to feel that you're trying to tuck under and let your chest stay lifted. Bring your arms all the way up. And if you're able to, take your hands and clasp them together, interlace the fingers, and turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulders pulling down away from the ears. Scissor those inner thighs together. And breathe here. Keep that right thigh parallel to the floor. And then open the arms out to the side and take your chest down onto your right thigh. Right from here, let's take the right leg all the way back to a three-legged dog. And lower the right foot down. Take the left leg, lift it up, and take that lunge with the left foot coming in between the hands. Once that knee is over the ankle, your right foot scoots back maybe a little more, keeping yourself on the ball of your right foot. Stretch your arms back, peel your chest off your left thigh, shoulders stack over the hips, raise the arms all the way up. And keep scissoring the inner thighs together. Bring the hands together. Interlace your fingers, turning the palms up to the ceiling. And keep pushing as if you're trying to push the ceiling away. Square those hips, scissor those inner thighs. You're going to feel that in your right hips, your right right hamstring. And then bring both hands on either side of your left foot. Take the left leg back. Bring it all the way up, three-legged dog. And lower the left leg back down alongside the right. Let's slowly come forward to plank, shoulders over your breast, and bend the knee slightly, lift it back up into your down dog. And then slowly coming forward again into your plank, and take it back into your down dog. So you want to make sure that you have the right position of your hands and feet so that when you make that transition, try it again. You don't have to keep moving your hands and feet. The back is nice and long, tailbone is tucked under. Breathe here. And slowly bend the knees and press it back up for your down dog. I'm going to continue to open up those inner thighs and hips a little. So we're going to take the right leg, reach it all the way up to the ceiling, and you're going to take that right foot to the outside of your right pinky. So get it right next to your right pinky, keeping the knee over your ankle. Then take your left leg, and you're going to do the same thing, bringing the left leg to the left pinky. And you're going to squat it down. So you're going to bring your tailbone towards the mat. You're going to press your elbows into your inner thighs and bring your thumbs together and really open up those inner thighs by pressing the elbows into the sides of your knees. Your tailbone is pressing down and you're flat on your feet. Breathe here. And from here, let's stand straight up. Inhale, lifting up through the fingertips. Exhale, pulling it down. And again, standing straight up, lift, inhale, and exhale, pulling it down. And one more, inhale, lift, exhale, pulling it back down, holding back in your Malasana once again, making sure the heels are down and your foot is completely flat on the floor. And then from here, just bring your hands down onto the mat or right onto the floor in front of your mat and start to raise your hips up and drop the crown of your head to the floor. If you need the block to make your legs go straight, bring the block underneath your hands. You want to get your legs to go straight. So heel toe your feet together. And it doesn't matter how high the block is, as long as your feet or legs are straight. So even if you bring your block a little up higher, try to get your shoulders to pull back away from the ears, and you want to feel a hinging sensation as you bring your chest closer towards your side. So you want to keep the shoulders pulling back, and you want to feel a stretch right into the back of your legs, into your hamstring. And then from here, you can remove the block. Take your arms out to the side in T position. Put a slight bend in the knees and start to straighten up. As you straighten your legs, raise both arms all the way up and look up. Take your hands and bring them to the center of your heart and take your chin to your chest. Close your eyes for a few moments. Just allow yourself to feel grounded and centered. Just perhaps noticing the sensations that you feel through your body without judging them. Without going back to maybe noticing what was a struggle. Maybe you were struggling a little bit in some of the poses, but not going backward, just taking your time to be focused in the present moment. Linking with the flow of your breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And stay here another couple of breaths. Really try to get all that tension out of your body. Send it out through the bottoms of your feet into the earth. Listen to the sound the breath is making. Then let your eyes slowly open. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Take a forward fold as you exhale. Plant your hands to the floor, so you may need to bend the knees and step it back into a down dog. Lifting that tailbone up. And now from here, we're going to come forward into a plank, but then take it right into an up dog. So what we're going to do is, I'll just demonstrate. So if you want to look at it first, you'll be able to see that you're in your down dog position. Your heels are going to lift. You're pulling your belly in. You're rounding through your back. Your chin is pulling into the chest. Now, as I come forward into my plank, then I lift my head, and that's where my up dog comes. And then I'm going to take a slight bend in the knees and bring it back into down dog. I'll do that one more time, and then we'll all do it together 3 times. So your head is hanging. You're keeping the head down towards the mat. Your heels raised up. Your belly pulls in. The whole back round. and keeping your chin into the chest. You're going to come forward into your plank. Once you're in that plank, then you lift the chest and the hips drop down a little bit through your up dog. And then you're going to take it back. So get into position of your down dog, and we'll take that 3 times. So really draw the navel into the back of the spine. Palms are pushing away, head is hanging down towards the mat. Start to raise up onto the heels, and as you're doing that, keep pulling your chest, your belly into the back of the spine, keeping your chin into the chest, and then allowing yourself to come forward to your plank, right into your up dog, and then back into down dog. And again, pressing the heels back. Now raise the heels up, round the back, with the lower back starts, keeping the back round until you finally make it to your plank. Arms are straight, chest moves forward, head up, and then pressing back. And one last time, press through the heels first. Really feel your down dog. Raise the heels up nice and high. Pull the belly in. So the back stays round as you make that movement to your plank. Then the chest starts to lift and the head comes with it. And back into your down dog. Let's hold down dog, so press through your heels, lifting the sits bones up, draw your navel into the back of the spine. And now from here, we're going to separate the legs a little wider, so you want to draw the edges of your feet to the outside of your mat. We're going to walk the hands in, and we're going to take it back into that malasana again. So we're going to take that bend in the knees. You're going to bring your tailbone down towards the mat. And you're going to press your elbows into the inner thighs. Thumbs come into the chest. So we're opening up those inner thighs and getting a nice little stretch here in through the groin as well, letting the hips loosen up. And let's bring both hands down to the mat. And we're going to lift the hips all the way up. So right from here, heel toe your feet together and bring the big toes to touch. Put a slight bend in the knees. Feel your chest pressing onto your thighs. And from here, take your arms and extend them back behind you. And keeping the knees bent, knees are facing forward. You're going to draw your tailbone down, coming right into a chair pose. Bring the arms out to the side and up. If they have to go slightly forward, that's fine, as long as you're not caving your chest in. So when you bring your arms up, if you start to round here, just keep the chest expanded, bring the arms forward, and then start to find that lift of the arms. Breathing here, in through the nose, out through the nose. Keep reaching your fingers up, gazing up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. The tailbone is pressing towards the mat. And then we're going to stand straight up, inhale, and take it down again as you exhale. Hands come right down onto the mat, bend both legs at the knees. Taking it back to our chair again, so the arms go back. Let the tailbone press down, pull those knees back, raise your arms up. And then from here, we're going to see if we can bring a little bit of a balance into this. So you're going to shift the weight over onto the right leg and just stand halfway. So you want to keep a soft bend in the right leg. Take your left ankle just above your right knee. And you're going to bend, taking it into a chair, balancing here. Breathe. Keep stretching through your fingers. Let's hold it here for 2 more breaths. And 1 more inhale. Exhale, straight leg. Bring the left foot down. Fold forward. Taking it back to chair. Bend the legs at the knees. Sweep your arms back. Feel your chest. Stay squat in that low chair pose. You're kind of squatting it down. Holding the shoulders down away from the ears. Stretching through the fingers. Standing up halfway, you're going to take the right ankle just above the left knee. And then go a little deeper. Finding balance now on your left side. Make sure you're still flowing that breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Holding it here for 2 more breaths. Maybe take it down a little lower if you can. And one more inhale. And exhale, inhale, release, fold. That right foot comes down, folding here. Walk it forward. Let's take it right back into our plank position. So shoulders stay over your palms. Tuck your tail under, pull your shoulders back. Breathe here. You want to keep your navel drawn into the back of the spine. Holding 2 more breaths. And then from here, we're going to lower all the way down onto the belly, so you might be able to come down and bring everything down. Make sure when you come down, you have your forehead on your mat, so maybe scoot back a little bit. So let's bring the arms out to the side in a T position, forehead down, and bring your legs together and press into the toenails of your right foot and left foot, so that you feel all 10 toenails really pushing down. Now, as you're pushing down into the toenails, feel that you're trying to let the thighs lift off the floor. So most likely maybe your thighs and your knees are on the floor and the shins are not on the floor. But if you push down into the toenails, you're going to feel a little bit more of that engaging in your buttocks, so that your thighs start to feel that they're lifting up just above the knee. And then from here, raise your forehead. Just take it off the floor, but you're not looking forward. You're continuing to look down, and then raise your arms, and then lift your legs. So we're going to work on opening the back. Keep stretching out through the fingertips. Try to get those legs together. And breathe. Bring your arms alongside your ears. Lift up a little higher. And exhale, bring it down. Take your your hands one on top of the other, and let your forehead rest on top of your head. Bend both legs at the knees. Windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And lower those legs back down. And once again, let's take the forehead onto the mat. And this time, the arms are going to come out to T position, but then you're going to take them up so that they're kind of pointing in the same direction as the right side of your mat and the left side of your mat, so kind of at a diagonal. And the forehead comes down. Now open your legs a little wider so that they're kind of like you might be able to feel the edges of your mat with your toenails. And now we're going to press down into the toenails. The legs are wider. See if you can feel the thighs lifting up. And then start to raise your forehead and raise your arms. So the arms are more like in a V position, and let your legs lift. And breathe here. So you're not tilting your head back. The crown of your head is facing forward. Lift up a little higher and lower everything down, taking the hands underneath your forehead. And then bring your legs in a little closer. Bend the legs at the knee. And go ahead and windshield wiper again one more time back from side to side. And then let the legs lower down. Take your hands and place them right next to your shoulders, and then slide them down more towards the hip, or towards the bottom of your rib cage. Pull your elbows in like you're really squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then you're going to press your hands, lifting your chest, coming up into tabletop position. Take your knees under your hips, palms under the shoulders. Let's work a little on opening up any tension in the back. So the back bend sometimes can give us a little tension there. So curl your toes and let your tail lift. Bring your chest forward, head up, and then flatten your toes. Draw your navel into the back of the spine, round the back completely, and take the chin to chest. Curl the toes as you inhale, let the tailbone start to lift. Moving the chest forward, head up, and toes go flat, starting your tuck, pulling the navel in, rounding chin into the chest. So that movement of that rounding movement is the same movement that we use when we flow from down dog into up dog. So it's that rounding sensation. And finishing up in your cat pose, so you're rounded back, toes are flat. And once you get there, cross your legs behind you and sit down onto your buttocks. So we're going to work a little bit on opening up the hips. So you want to sit up nice and tall. If you need to bring the block underneath you, you can bring the block underneath you. We're going to start with the right side first. So bend your left leg in, and then take your right leg and bend the right leg in. You want to sit up nice and tall. So reaching down, interlacing the fingers, you're reaching down to take the interlaced fingers around the right pinky toe. Now once you do that, you want to get your back nice and straight. So you don't want to round here. You want to straighten your back and lift your foot. Let your right knee stay out to the side, and let's see if we can raise the foot up towards the ceiling. So you're pulling it up. You're going to get a stretch through the hip. And try to keep feeling your right knee pulling more down. So rather than pulling it up, you want to press it down. And just keep lifting up. Then send the toes slightly forward so you can straighten your arms. Then pull the foot into your chest, and you're going to feel more of a stretch coming into that right hip. A little bit more intensity in the hip. You want to make sure the back stays long, and then send the foot forward. Lift the toes up a little higher. And now see if you can pull the toes towards the forehead. Rather than bringing your forehead to the toes, keeping the back nice and long, you're pulling in towards the forehead. And then right from here, take the edge of the foot, the pinky side of the foot, into the crease of your left arm. Wrap the arm around your shin, and take your right arm and wrap it around the thigh. And then just pull that right leg into your chest. And give your hip a nice little movement here, a nice little bit of opening. And then let's place that right heel right into the left hip. And once you get it there, you're coming into half lotus pose. Just take the backs of your hands onto the knees and connect your index finger and thumb together. And close your eyes and just sit up tall and try to let go and release any tension in that right hip. So you might really notice it opening up there. As you close your eyes, just breathe into it. So our body stiffens up a little bit, tightens up, especially when we're trying to open it up a little bit, and sometimes it really tightens up. So try to really feel that as you're letting that tightness go. Then let your eyes open and release your right foot down. So we're going to switch legs. Now the right foot is going to come in, and you're going to interlace the fingers, and you're going to take those fingers around the left pinky toe side of your foot. So once you reach down, you want to get your back nice and straight, and just feel the foot lifting up to the ceiling. And just keep that left knee out to the side and keep pulling it up. Feel a stretch in that left hip. You may notice one side feels more open or one side feels a little tighter. Just observe it, not judging it. Then send the toes slightly forward. Feel the toes lifting up and pull more into your chest. Remembering that we're not bringing the chest, we're not rounding the back. So you're staying nice and tall and you're pulling in. So the elbows will bend a little bit to pull in. Then extend the foot forward so the arms will go straight. Lift the toes up a little higher. Pulling it towards your forehead, so you're not bringing your forehead towards the toe. We're just pulling it in to open up a little bit more deeply into that left hip. Then taking rock the baby here. So you're going to take the outside, that pinky side of your foot into the crease of your right arm. Take the hand to your shin and let the left arm come around. Pull the leg into your chest and keep the back long. Just kind of open up that left hip a little bit, just kind of rock side to side. And then let that left heel come right down to that right hip so that you're in half lotus. And do the best you can to pull it in. Sit up tall, backs of the hands onto the knees. Let the thumb and index finger connect. Keep the spine nice and straight. So try to avoid arching through your lower back.
Keep the chin level with the mat and shoulders are directly under your ears. Close your eyes. And breathe. So you'll notice as you're here and just being present, you'll notice if this side feels tighter or more open. And you're just observing it. My left side feels less tight, feels tighter on the right side. So maybe I'll work more on the tighter side so that I can open it up a little bit more so that I'll have a little more of a balance between the left and right. So once we discover where the weaker side is, we want to start to work more on that side so that we can kind of balance it out. Let your eyes open and let's release. Let's take those legs out and lean back onto your forearms and take the feet to the edges of your mat. And then once you do, come onto your palms. You want to lift up and just windshield wiper your legs to the right. Come through center, over to the left, and up through center, over to the right. So you're dropping the knees down. It's kind of like a little rotation in your hips as well. And then take it over once again to the left side. And come back up. And we're going to scoot ourselves forward and bring both feet down to the mat. Keep your legs about hip distance apart. Work on strengthening your lower back, your abdominal muscles. So we worked on the back by doing our back bends. We want to work on getting the abdominals to be strong as well. So opposing muscle groups. Keep your knees up to the ceiling. Extend your arms. Tuck under so the back does begin to round. Keep your chin into the chest and slowly roll yourself down. As you're coming down, come down one vertebra at a time. Keep that tilt in your pelvis and try not to collapse down. Really try to do the best that you can to make it a smooth transition. And then take your legs and extend them nice and straight. I'm going to bring the arms all the way overhead. And allow the legs to just keep straight out. You're going to roll yourself up. So when you roll yourself up, you want to try to just get each vertebra to come up. And then reach and extend as if you're reaching beyond your toes, as if someone's pulling you forward. Come back through center so your shoulders are over the hips. Tuck under, roll back. So take it slow and make sure you're breathing. You're not holding your breath as you're moving yourself down. Extend those arms all the way back. And again, you want to roll up nice and slow. Once you get to that middle point where the shoulders are over the hips, feel as if someone's pulling the fingers forward, keeping the back long, toes stay flexed. And roll down one vertebra at a time. Keep squeezing the abdominals in, navel into the back of the spine, arms go back. Last one, we're going to lift up. Once the shoulders stay over the hips, reach through the fingers. Reach, 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 reach. Come back through center. Come into that pelvic tilt and roll it down one more time, one vertebra at a time. And then bring the arms all the way back behind you. Get a nice deep stretch and hug your knees, pulling them into your chest. And then rock gently side to side. Nice massage in your lower back. And let's bring the feet flat on the floor. So as your legs are flat on the floor, you want to keep your toes facing forward. And keep your legs about hip distance apart. Allow the navel to pull into the back of the spine. Then just let your hips lift up a little bit. We're not coming into any pose here. We're going to just taking the hips up slightly. We're going to just kind of shift the hips over to the left. And then let your right hip come down. Both arms in T position and just let your knees fall out to the side. Take your gaze down the fingers of your left hand. Return your head center and just bring your knees back up. So you're still kind of tilted over to the left side. Bring yourself back to center. Lift your hips slightly off and then shift the hips over to the right side and let the left more of the left hip lower down and let your legs just open to the left. So keep your feet just where they were, don't move them. And then right arm, you can turn your gaze down the fingers of your right hand. Maybe close your eyes. And bring your head back through center. Bring the knees back up. And when you get back there, the hips are still over to the right. So you're going to lift up and bring pull yourself square here so your lower back is pressing down into the floor. Let's take the knees about tabletop position. So your knees are directly above your hips, and keep your ankles in alignment with your knees so that you have a tabletop position with your legs. And then from here, arms out in T position. Now we're going to just rotate over to the right, and you're going to let that right leg come all the way down, and then try to do your best you can to let the left leg come over the right. So you really want to try to stack that left knee over the right, but you want that left shoulder to pull down. So you're pulling that left knee a little bit more to the right. But if the left shoulder pops up, then you can just let it move, the left knee move back. But eventually, once you get that left shoulder to stay anchored down, maybe you can pull that right knee a little further. And look down to the fingers of the left. So a little bit more intense twist here. And then return your gaze to center. Just your left leg lifts, keeping it in tabletop position. Once the lower back flattens to the mat, bring the right leg up. And your knees are still over the hips. You're still in your tabletop position. Navel is pulling into the back of the spine. Both arms are still out to the side. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. So the left leg goes down. That right leg stacks over the left. And the right shoulder stays down. So you're trying to really pull that right knee towards the left and keeping the right shoulder down. So it can go into a very deep twist here. And then slowly take your head center. Inhale, right leg comes up, keeping it in a tabletop position. Once your sacrum comes down, let the left leg come meet the right. Back into your tabletop position. Hug your knees, pulling them into your chest, and gently rock it out from side to side. Nice gentle massage into the back. Cross your legs at the ankles. Take your hands behind your thighs, just below your knees. We're going to take it up into a couple of rocking motions, rocking forward and back. Try to keep the back nice and rounded so that you're not flopping down on your back. And then once you come up, come into a cross-legged position, and we're going to bring our hands forward and come right on to all fours and walk yourself right to the middle of your mat. So you're on the middle of your mat, and you're going to keep your toes flat, and you're going to bring your buttocks down onto your heels. And once you're there, we're going to take an inversion hare pose. So your knees are slightly open. Make sure your tailbone is tucked under and your arms can stay alongside you. Now, if you know how to do hare pose and you are comfortable doing that, or if you want to go further, you can do a tripod. You can certainly do tripod if you know how to do it. And so from here, bring your chin to the chest. We're going to round our back, and what we're going to do is bring the very top of the head. So the very, very top of the head, not the forehead, not the brow line. You're going to have to lift your hips off your heels to get the crown of the head to the floor. So you basically are looking through the space of your leg, and you're pulling your belly in. So you want to feel that you're not really dumping all the weight onto your head, and you're using your core strength to hold your hips up. Just hold here. So if you're in your tripod pose, your knees would be on top of your triceps, and your feet will be lifted. And so whatever posture you decide to come in, just hold it here for 2 more breaths. And then we're going to slowly take it down. So if you were in your tripod, your feet are coming down.
And then you're going to just roll yourself back up.
Coming back into tabletop position once again. Take your legs out to one side. Bring your butt down. Extend both legs forward to the front of your mat. And we'll roll down one more time and take our final pose or relaxation posture, corpse pose, Shavasana. Arms extend, tuck under, chin to chest. Taking it down. And then just let your legs separate. Hip distance, not wide. If you don't want the legs to be very wide, you want to kind of have them hip distance with the feet turned out. Bring your arms away from your body. Turn the palms to the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feel the chest lifting, extending up. And make sure your chin isn't really jutting way up, so you're not really taking an arch in that neck, the back of your neck. The back of the neck should be straight. And just let your eyes close. And as we let everything go, as we close our eyes and release the posture, release the practice, we'll take some cleansing breaths here. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. You're going to open your mouth and sigh it out. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth. And one more time, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and let it go. Keep pressing out all that extra air out from the bottom of your lungs, and then let your mouth close, let your body relax. Coming into Shavasana, allowing stillness to enter into your body. Continue to feel tension moving out. While the body remains still, feel the space that you create when you let go. Not holding on to anything. No holding to tension, to negativity, but just releasing, letting that go. Imagining that you're releasing things known and unknown that do not serve you. And just feel yourself opening up a little bit more, creating more space to flow that positive energy to move through you. The life force energy, our prana, moves through the body. And imagine that energy that's moving through your body as a beautiful golden light that travels through your whole internal being. And as it travels in, touching any areas that we need to heal, that anything we need to let go of, that's holding us back, send that light to that area. Whether it's emotional or physical, just let everything go, feeling the beautiful light moving into areas for healing. And stay with this light for the next several minutes as you go into deep relaxation, Shavasana. Let go and relax. Let's bring our awareness back to that white light, golden light that's flowing through your body. Feel your body sinking deeper and deeper, melting into the earth, aware of the sensation of relaxation. Stay with that feeling a little bit longer. And then allowing some movement to come into your finger, moving your fingers and your toes, observing how you're feeling right now. Take a nice deep inhale as you stretch your arms all the way over your head, exhaling out any sighs, sounds, or moans. And then gently pull your knees into your chest, hug them in, and take a nice gentle rocking motion from side to side. And just massaging out your back. And then slowly roll completely over to the right side of your mat and let your head rest gently onto your inner arm. So your inner arm becomes a nice soft pillow for your head to rest. And your left hand just rests in front of your chest on the floor. Be with your stillness. Be with your peace. And allowing the eyes to stay closed. Slowly guide yourself up, trying to keep your chin into the chest until you bring yourself up to a seated position, keeping your legs crossed. Sit up nice and tall. And let's take the hands together in prayer, thumbs into the center of your heart. And continue to breathe into your body. Hear the subtle breath. Observe how you're feeling. Observe what your practice has given to you this evening. Maybe a little bit more awareness. Maybe a little more compassion for your practice. Maybe a little bit more of a reflection on what it is that you need to do in order to find more inner peace, a little less stress. So sometimes these things open up to us. We discover what it is that we need to do for ourselves, or maybe not necessarily what we need to do, but what we need. And how we're going to get that is by continuing to practice. So from here, I'm going to close the practice out by chanting Om one time. Take a nice deep breath in. Om. And very slowly and gently lower your head down as your chin comes to your chest. Bowing to that light and love that shines within you. Know that that light and love shines brightly within each and every one of us. Namaste. I want to thank everyone for participating this evening, and thank you for joining me on your mat. And I hope to see you next time we practice. Have a great night.